It's been a long time. Do you even remember where you left off?
It's kind of black to me.
Okay. So you had just been with them right after they had gone to a village, SWAT, um, and found out that there was a group of bandit thugs that had basically taken over the whole town. You cleared out the amethyst mine that they were using as their base and stumbled your way back into the city to get a good night's rest. And that was about where you left off. Was just planning to essentially go to sleep right after everybody healed up.
Went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was black.
Exactly. So if you could, for me, roll a d12. D12.
This one? That's on. That's this one. Yep. I was like, what is this? 7.
Okay. So you need to take 7 points of damage.
Okay. This is after I've been healed, right? Okay.
Yeah, everybody healed up before they went to sleep.
Great, because I opened it.
Yeah, no, we're not killing you. Go. You were really better.
Down to goop, she died.
Nothing that drastic this time.
Horses.
So that was the last thing you remember is going to bed in that little house that you guys were staying in. And you don't remember anything else at that moment until now when you're slowly coming to in a semi-dim, not dimmy, semi-dim lit room. There's like a very small fire in like a fireplace across the way from you. But it's obviously not been tended to in a while, so like it's dying down a little bit.
Okay.
You're in what most people would describe as maybe like a one-room cabin sort of thing.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
it's about 10 by 10, basically. Very small. You can't, as you kind of, like I said, as you're coming to consciousness, you're kind of trying to get your bearings. You hurt. You hurt a lot. Like you feel like a little bit of a bruise, a little bit bruised up. Like you've been in a fight, but you remember clearly that you had healed up after what had happened. So this is not really what you expected, of course.
Right.
It's kind of
It's when it's healed.
Yeah. Or just like front load everything on you. What? You, okay. You are as you like start trying to like move, and like you're like, oh god, something hurts. You want to like reach for like your arm or something, and realize that you can't move your arms, that they're tied down to your side, and that you are sitting upright in a chair.
Oh no, that's terrifying.
What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm like this. Do I have straps like across me, or is it just like my arms are tied like down to the chair?
Your arms are tied semi like behind. Like they've kind of worked the ropes through to like bind your arms down.
And there's like no wiggle room?
Very little. There's enough that you're not going to lose circulation. There's not so much that you can like really do a lot of this.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't just do a little wiggle and be out.
Shimmy this out of here. Okay, so there's a fireplace. Is there anything else around that might help me, that I can see that might help me like get out?
You can see a poker next to the fireplace that's probably been in use, like building up the fire, of course. And the usual utensils that go with that next to it. There's a small pile of wood next to the fireplace on its left hand side. When you kind of tilt your head to the left a little bit, you can see what's probably the end of a bed. So, like, this is obviously someone at one point lived in this place, and since it's only one room, that's it's like a studio apartment sort of thing.
Okay. In ye old days, studio apartment.
Ye old days studio apartment. When you turn your head to the right hand side, you see a table and a couple chairs. And there's you can see like a playing card set on the table. Like people were doing something prior to.
So people have been in this room with me?
Definitely.
Creepy.
You do not see any sign of your group, of your team. It's literally like that's about all you can see. There's one window that you can see on your right hand side, but the door is likely behind you.
Okay.
Because you just like assume people have to get in and out of this place.
Right. Where did you say the window was?
It's on your right hand side, towards the table.
Okay. Is the chair heavy? Like, could I theoretically try and like rock myself forward and stand? Like, are my feet strapped to the ground?
Your
Or, like,
feet are
strapped
strapped
to
to the
the
legs
chair.
of the chair.
Yeah, so like, is the chair heavy? Could I follow with the chair?
It's pretty sturdy, but you could try to like you could do. Let's do a strength check.
Okay,
Let's
that's
see
what
what
you
you
do,
got.
right?
Mm-hmm.
15.
Okay, you got enough give that you can kind of like get it up on two legs, but it's just heavy enough that it's really like you're having to put a lot of effort into it. You're not really in a position to like fully pull yourself back.
Okay. Interesting. So like, so it's probably too strong for me to like keep rocking and like sacrifice myself to crash on the ground and break.
It's
If my
probably
arms are
too heavy for that.
back, right? Like my hands would probably get crushed or whatever.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay.
Yes, they would most definitely get a little messed up if you tried to do it that way. You could maybe theoretically, depending on how the chair was put together, which of course you can't like examine it very well.
Yeah.
But maybe you could like continually rock back and forth like a bunch, and it might weaken the joints of it enough. But there's no guarantees of that, and like
Right.
who knows who's
Might be
around.
coming around. Yeah. Okay. Let's think about this. So I don't have enough strength to move the chair. I could wiggle it, but like probably if I fall backwards, I'll hurt myself more than I'll hurt the chair. Do I possibly have anything on my body that I could like reach in my pockets that might be sharp enough to cut? Right? Because I have daggers and stuff, but did they take that off of me? Like, can I reach? Can I be like pockets?
How do you normally carry your weapons?
Good question. We have one that's strapped to the inner arm, so I can go. It's freeloaded because that's what I need right now.
That would be super cool if you had that right now. Something to talk to your artificer about if you search for this.
I need this in the future so I can just spring load something. Or I need a ring that has like a point.
Little switchblade.
Yeah, or like a point or something that I can like rub it across some rope. Okay. The fire's not that like heavily lit, right? It's dim. There's not any torches anywhere or anything.
Not that you can see. There might be a candle over on the table, but you've only got so much peripheral vision. And you're already pretty hurt, so like trying to like do a lot of like twisting and turning and try to see where you are is like
okay, with my ability to rock, can I at least like kind of try and like shuffle my chair a bit?
Yes.
Okay, so can I turn towards the table to see if there's anything else around the table that might be useful?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is there anything around the table that might be useful?
Give me a perception check.
What's the D20 again? Okay, well that one wasn't great. Let's try a different one. Yeah, that's a 19. That's an 8.
What's your modifier for perception?
One. No, two. So I got 10.
Okay, so when you
But my passive perception's 11. Does that help me at all?
just slightly above average in general, so
No.
really that's not bad for what you've got going on.
Back that I'm tied to a chair and spruce.
So you managed to kind of like shuffle your chair around so you're facing the table a little bit, and you can see more or less what looked like a poker game maybe being played,
Okay.
or something akin to poker. Um, you also see like various like there's probably three pretty decent sized tankards, as well as a pitcher, and you also see a collection of weapons beside the door. There's like a two-headed axe and a sword, and you also happen to see your bag in the far corner.
Okay.
But you'd have to get past like a lot of stuff and have your hands free to like
Right.
get into that.
Okay. I've never thought about escaping somewhere before. Well, I do a chair. Are my hands like strapped down, or is it just like my arms are down and like my hands have a little bit of movement?
Your hands have a little bit of movement.
Okay.
You can do the fishman thing.
So
Especially if they tied you from like in this area, your forearm, more or less.
so I can't like move.
Your forearms would be tied like back here.
Okay, so I have like very little. Like I've got the ability to kind of go backwards, but not enough to unlock rope the other arm, and not really that much to like move forward anywhere. Right. Oh, wow, it made this really challenging for me. And I just yell, "Son of a bitch!" I mean, that's not a great plan because I probably don't want whoever drank those 3 tankers to know I'm awake. Um, or maybe I do, because maybe I can convince them to let me go because I'm charming as hell. But there's probably a reason they stole me in the first place, and I don't know what that is right now. Like, who did I piss off? Okay. So between me and the weapons is the table, right?
Yes.
And there's nothing sharp on the table. There's just the cards and the.
I mean, there's like again, this game looks very similar to poker, so there's like something akin to chips on the table as well, but they're not. They're made of metal, but they don't look sharp.
Yeah. I guess if they're on a table, I can't really reach them with my hands stretched down anyway. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'm gonna keep trying to move my chair eeky to the door to get to something sharp because I can't think of anything else that would be like. Because is the fireplace closer? Is the poker closer than the weapons?
So it's like a 10 by 10 room, and you're like almost dead in the middle.
So no, nothing is close by of that or trapped Allison.
Although now you've like shuffle scuffled yourself,
A little bit.
so you're like slightly closer to the right hand side.
Which side was the fireplace? I don't remember.
The fireplace is like dead in front of you.
Oh, okay. And so the table's over there. Can I see anything out of the window now that I've turned towards the table?
It's pretty dirty. You can see out. You can see that it's daylight now. Like full on, probably like late afternoon even, or maybe mid afternoon. You know, the sun's well and truly up, and it was definitely down.
Right,
Guys,
like,
which is funny.
how long have I been out? Just the amount of time that it seems, like from night to like mid or late
You have no
afternoon.
idea.
That's what I'm like thinking out loud to myself.
Gotcha.
Is like, how long have I been strapped to the chair thing? Because okay, do my wrists, like where I'm strapped here, do they have any bit of like kind of burns on that? Like, you know, like rash, from the ropes, like being on my arms for a while, or not? Because I'm trying to determine how long I've been in this state of just sitting, whatever. Because I'm, trying to think of. This doesn't look familiar to what was in the village we were at. It doesn't look familiar to the city we were nearby. Uh, so am I just in like some random cabin in the woods that
That's really what it looks like to right
be
now.
like days away, and I've just been drugged and knocked out for days? Or it's literally just the next day afternoon. It's a cabin still in the woods, but like an hour or two away that they kidnapped me to. I just don't.
Those are the thoughts that are like running through your head.
Right, yeah.
But I totally hear that.
I just don't know.
As you move your arms just a little bit, you can feel like the drag marks from where you've obviously rubbed a portion of them a bit raw, which could speak to the fact that you've been here for a lot longer than maybe you would at first guess.
Yeah.
But you really have no idea the
what that
entire
means still,
amount
yeah.
of time. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna go with my first instinct of keep trying to shuffle my body, do the really weird worm in the chair over towards some type of weapon where I might be able to, like, knock it over with my hand or grab something that I can cut or slice or anything.
Would you like to ask about one of the three weapons that are readily like?
Yes, I would love to ask about one of the three weapons that are readily available.
Okay, so up against the door, there's battle axe, and that's essentially propped up against the door jamb. And then there's a sword just kind of resting next to it. Looks like a pretty basic sword to you. You don't know a lot about swords, but it looks like just most of the average ones you've seen thereabouts in the town. Your pack and
Stuff are over in that corner.
So we'll just like say this is like your bag or whatever that you've been carrying about with you. And then like here's your table that you've been able to see with all the cards on it. Over to this side is the bed.
I like the cross window is the fireplace. Okay. Can I do some dumb human things of like, because like obviously can I just be like, what is the rover I call the sword over?
Okay, yeah.
Can I just like, I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna say rover I call that sword over.
You say it kind of hysterically, like you're kind of close to losing it at this point. You just are like, I don't know where I am. I don't know how long I've been here. I hurt. I just what? You say that out loud, and you're not really expecting anything to come of it. You see the sword actually start to move. It's not moving a lot,
but it's moving a bit.
But it's definitely moving, like something's trying to get a hold of it.
Okay. Okay, so what's another way to summon something? It's kind of like rhyme. I don't know why I want to rhyme, but I apparently want to rhyme in my delusional state.
You're probably pretty thirsty and you have definitely not been fed recently. Let's add that to this little equation.
Yeah, okay, let's try we're gonna like put a lot of mental effort into saying Rover, Rover, I call this sword over.
Adding in that little bit of extra oomph, you actually see it come off the ground, off and away from the wall. You're watched now as the sword has shifted at this point against the wall and are watching it now start rising.
And my brain is going, holy fuck, it's gonna be holy fuck. This bullshit. Crit Rover, sword come over just. Okay, great, love that for me. Yay, sword, yay.
It's just kind of, it's almost like someone very calmly picked it up and it's just moved it across the room to be just in front of you.
Thanks, Ghosty, Red Rover, Grover, whatever I named you. I don't know what that. It's beautiful. Thanks, Swordy Wordy. You like cut me out now. Okay. Rover, sword, cut this line out of cord.
That's not terribly specific.
By my right hand.
The sword kind of wobbles because it's not sure what to do. Or whatever's holding it doesn't know.
Doesn't know what to do. I honestly don't know what to do in this moment. Sword, I need you in my right hand.
Okay, so since you wiggled it a little bit, okay, the sword very evenly floats towards. It actually goes toward the left side first. Like it doesn't really seem to understand the directions that well.
Okay, sword, let's get down to business. This rope.
It kind of wiggles in the air towards you.
Let's get down to business and get this.
Okay, you do finally feel it kind of snag against the bindings that are back there, but you can't see what it's doing really, so you really have no idea how well this is even working.
Faster. Light it up.
It does pick up speed.
Okay, great. Can I like move any hand yet?
It feels like there's definitely something starting to happen, but it's not like fully like nothing's really come loose technically yet. And unfortunately, it's right at this moment that the door opens. Shit. It figures. We left you alone for just 10 minutes. You feel the sword taken away from behind you. There's no longer any movement. Nothing nothing else is like it's not done enough for you to break free. And three people enter the room and come around in front of you.
Who are you and why am I here?
Oh, God, I'm tired of this conversation.
This conversation, this is the first time we've had it.
No, sadly, it has not. The first person that's like talking to you is a semi-tallish man with long black hair. It's kind of almost stringy looking. Yeah, yes, no, because it doesn't have like the hawk nose or anything like that. He's actually pretty thin. Um, more like a emo kid from like the aughts sort of deal, like that kind of skinny.
Okay, I'm calling him emo kid now.
Feel free. Um, as he said this, though, he ducks down and you feel him tug your pant leg, or well, like your pants that you're wearing, up just enough that he can like get his hand around your ankle area, and you feel him like break something or tug something off.
Of my ankle?
And as he does that, he pulls up, and there's a pretty decent sized leather wrapping that has a bunch of black shiny stones that have been
Just grounding into my leg?
touching you.
What the fuck is that, emo bro? That's your name. Just go with it. Until proven otherwise, your name is emo bro. You don't get any other. So why am I here? And what was that you took off my leg? What's this weird ass stone? I want to go home. Why can't I get out? Why do you take the magic sword away, please? I just want to go home.
I can't even deal with this right now. And one of the other people that's with them, who's kind of you think at least might be a dwarf, maybe taller than any dwarves you've met thus far, but definitely has like the more burly, stocky build and like the big beard. Um, his is more like a dark brown though,
So he's a tiny teddy bear.
kind of. It kind of gives you that vague impression.
Okay.
And he like stalks across the room, just like and pulls out like a pretty big neckerchief and like hands you.
What?
I'll answer your questions if you're a quiet girl.
Did you say me to be a good girl?
No,
I need to be a good girl.
I can see why Eberk is surprised that you're not willing to go through with things. However, to answer the first question you asked, this is why we've had to repeat this conversation 5 times.
So why do you put it back on me?
We did. I'm not answering. Anyway, okay. Turns back to his companions. The other person in the room is a you would guess to be a maybe someone of a higher class. His clothes are way nicer than the other like people, the other two guys that are in the room, and he looks semi-familiar, like you've kind of seen him before, and it takes you a while to place his like features.
Is he someone we know?
It's someone you would know specifically.
Is it my ex?
No,
Oh, thank God.
no.
Is it somebody from the troop? Or is it.
So if you look on your
Is it
important people of Keziah,
important people of Keziah?
and look for it was right there, like right there in front of you.
Okay.
Look for the ambassador.
Ebert?
Mm-hmm.
He's a dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Ronaville? Is that the guy that got me sent to prison?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
But he looks like a much younger version.
Of himself?
This is his
Son.
Mhm.
Great. I wrote down while you were describing him, Prince Shithead.
Love.
Actually, I wrote down Princess Shithead. So that. Yeah, actually, we're gonna keep going with Princess Shithead. Okay.
Your father is going to owe us twice as much, simply because we had to use this stupid thing, and I've had to have this conversation so many times today.
Why are you talking to Princess Shithead? Tiny Taylor, you're supposed to talk to me, not Princess Shithead. Or you, you're supposed to talk to me.
I think she's talking to you. I certainly don't get paid enough to do this shit more than once.
Why do you look familiar, Princess Shithead? Fuck, your dad. Who are you?
Oh, I think you know who I am.
Why? Why did you take me, son of a bitch? And that's a compliment, I guess, to your dad.
Can't help it. He gives you a look like he can't decide if he wants to be amused or not.
You want to be amused.
I want to be amused. He does not know if he wants to be or not. Based on your previous dealings with the senior, you would guess that maybe he's also not a huge fan of his father. But, familial loyalty tells him that he doesn't necessarily want to badmouth him. But this is all mostly a conversation you're having in your head with the invisible voice.
I'm having this conversation?
Of course.
Okay.
Any conversation that we have that's external is obviously you talking to the voices in your head.
Crazy. Got it. So, like, if I were to say, voice in my head, he totally wants to say something, and they are like looking at me like I'm crazy, but I'm already crazy, so it's fine.
Everyone's just slightly on the edge, you know?
We answer more questions. Princess Shithead, Tiny Teddy Bear, and Emo Boy. I'm getting kind of mad.
Dolan, take the gag off. I'd rather have a conversation.
That's water. That really
Ground rules. You're not to spit it at anybody. You're not.
Hey!
3 times. You're not going to try to bite anyone that tries to give you the things.
I only bite people I like.
Well, then you really like Dolan. Would you like to
Which
have
one's
some
that
more
one?
alone
Which
time?
one's that one?
That's the emo kid.
Hey, Emo Kid. Oh boy, come over here.
He just gives you like the most over your shit. This special cord that you've been wearing has these lovely stones. They're pretty pricey to get a hold of. Basically, all they do is make sure that you can't blab about certain interactions.
Seeing as how I'm having interactions I don't want to have right now, can I just leave and I promise not to tell anybody about them?
I'm gonna say no. You should have known that you couldn't just walk out of the prison scot free. You were there for a reason.
Yeah, because your dad's a shithead. Thus, Princess Shithead.
Do you want the water, or are you going to be cooperative?
I want the water.
Reaches over to their like table and just holds out his hand, and the other like more burly guy, the one that looks like the bear,
The tiny teddy bear.
teddy bear, hand like takes one of the mugs off the table because there was actually two. Now that you've turned a little more, you can see that there were two pitchers. One probably full of ale, and now the second one that actually has water in it. And he hands the cup to the guy, and he just brings it up about this close to you. So you have to like lean forward.
It's oily, but I guess that's okay.
Could be nothing.
Yeah, and I could be in a warm bed. What's the difference between something that's happening and something that could be?
You could have been in a warm bed from the start and avoided this whole situation. Do you think it's not expensive to have to chase you down?
You kidnapped me! You could have just left me alone! I wasn't harming people, I was actually helping people, unlike you, who have snatched an innocent girl!
Wouldn't have had to if you'd just gone along with what the old man wanted.
I'm not gonna sex up your father just because he's a shithead horn dog. I have standards, and they do not include old men like your father.
Any other situation, I'd say good for you, but considering we're both here now,
This seems like a bad choice for you, and I should have said stronger words to your father.
that I'd pay to see.
Well,
and you'll probably get
let
the
me
chance.
go. You can pay me, and I'll fuck your father up. In an unpleasant way for him, and a pleasant way for me.
I feel like that was a lot of confusing statements all in a row for you.
Yeah, that's what I like. But, like, that could be less confusing if you let me out. Oh, I have my legs freaking. That could be less confusing if you let me out.
You know, you've gone through this whole scenario twice too.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
I doubt you've probably found yourself in this situation often.
Yeah, I can't say that I have ever been tied to a chair unwillingly before. Willingly. That's another story.
You just like say things hoping to get a reaction out of people.
No, I normally get a reaction out of people. I don't hope for anything. I aspire to many things. but I do get a reaction. And I got one from you. It just wasn't fun.
Fair enough. Look, our interaction here is coming to a close.
Great, you're gonna let me go?
No. The old man will be here probably within the next hour or so.
So you're gonna let him rape me?
I didn't say that.
Then why is he coming here?
I don't have anything to do with this situation other than the fact that we were asked to track you down and keep you like in one place until he had time to deal with your shenanigans. Other than that, I'm out of this situation. In fact, that's the whole point, is for me to get out of this situation.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a little errand boy. Have fun with that for the rest of your life. Princess shithead.
Positions, power.
Yeah, you're not
Freedom.
you're not in a position of power. You're in a pawn position, and you will always be as long as your father is ahead of you. But good luck. Think you're so powerful. I love men who don't know where they're at in society. Okay, can we get this over with? Is he coming soon? Can I get raped and leave now? Like, I just went out, so what's happening? And how do we get this over with now?
You're becoming very aggressive again, and we can always put the gag back on and end the conversation.
Put the gag back on, you son of a biscuit eater.
Biscuit?
Yeah, you don't know what that means. It's fine. It's just a normal talk where I'm from. And then far, far away. God help me! I can't sit tied to this chair anymore. Too bad I picked the wrong god for the ability to have hulking strength. No, use the future prediction god. What is his name? Mithin. Can I pray to them now? Like, oh God, Mithin, Lord of the future, can you see my way out of this dumbass situation?
Doesn't appear that the gods are listening tonight.
Yeah, that's not surprising. That's happened the majority of my life.
Mm.
You were telling me something. Your father's coming for some unknown reason because you're a lackey and don't know what's actually happening.
You can insult me all you want. It really doesn't change anything for me.
So insulting you is the least that I'm doing.
Yes, I'm sure you're quite good with your words.
Even better with my tongue.
I will
But your
admit,
father will never know that. Keep going. You will admit what? That I'm funny, that you find me thoroughly entertaining for a person trapped in a chair. That
maybe a bit of
you
both.
don't understand why your father was so attracted to this super lithe body here.
That's not a hard one to figure out. It's been like this my whole life.
Oh, he goes after young, innocent women who aren't attracted to old, gangly men.
Basically.
Sounds like a great plan for you. How's your mom doing? Dead?
Yeah.
Predictable. No siblings?
No, I have 3.
Oh.
All different moms.
Ah, there we go. You're a mommy's little girl. Oh, I mean, sorry, boy. Princess shit.
It just has like this little low chuckle. Like it's officially decided that you're just like too entertaining not to laugh at.
So, what time is your father getting here, and what time do I get released from this old studio apartment?
You keep saying random words, and I don't know what they mean, or if you even know what they mean.
Oh, I do, but you don't, and it's fine. It just makes my conversations with my internal people so much. So, emo boy, come here often? Tiny Teddy? Is this your little...
They literally have turned away and like physically sat down at the table to ignore you.
Why are you ignoring me, Tiny Teddy? I thought we were friends.
Just holds up a finger to flip you off from where he's sitting and picks up his cards.
He has a straight flush, emo boy. You better lay down fast.
They kind of look up at each other and then look over at you for a second and then look back. And you can hear the game continuing, and it's not called like a flush or whatever, but you didn't really understand the word that they said. But I mean, it's the right hand for what you were thinking it was. And the other guy just looks disgusted and tosses down his cards and has to hand over the money.
Told you, told you, emo boy. Should have listened to me. I told you I prayed to God in the future. It's just literally great at hands of whatever game you're playing, and not am I getting kidnapped in the near days. So there was this one time at band camp where there was a goat in a mailbox. Is that a fun string of words for you? Shithead princess? I mean, princess shithead? I don't know your name anymore. What is your actual name?
A lion.
A lion?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you a lion on the ground? Yes, a lion on the ground. This is what you get when you don't feed me for days on end, apparently.
You've had food, you just don't remember it.
You keep saying these things. You could have been holding me for hours, not days, and just made me think.
Oh, it's been what, 3 days now? Even I'm starting to lose track.
How did you take me from my group of friends? Ish.
It wasn't without its difficulties. Your little friend's good at difficult. No more than your hurt.
Yeah, well, it kind of hurts having my arm strapped behind my back. You want to loosen it a little bit, buddy? We're friends, right? Shit, princess, shit, pal. I don't know your name. Pal of shit. You lying on the ground. You want to listen to these threads on my round. I don't know what. Is your father going to be here soon? Because I'm running out of shit to say.
I don't know. It's kind of gotten hilarious for me.
I'm glad I'm in entertainment. You please be sure to pay your comics on the way. Okay. Please stop. I don't like that. I'm feeling uncomfortable and I need some space. Not around me. Don't take it personally. That's just a boundary. That's just a boundary. Please stop. I don't like that. I'm feeling uncomfortable. I need some more space. Not around me. Don't take it personally. It's just a boundary. That's 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 just a boundary.
As you just continually started doing the song over and over again, you've watched as all three of them start holding their heads like they're trying to block you out. And as you sit there watching them, they actually start huge damage. Okay, sorry. You had it then.
It's okay. I just didn't want to keep repeating. That's just a boundary annoyingly.
So that would be your thing that you don't have. So I'm going to go ahead and assign one and we'll just see if it meets it. So we need 3 6s. That's just a boundary. Yep. Okay, so as you continue saying that like as loud and obnoxiously as you can to try and like drive them crazy just in general, you just see them starting to like hold their heads and it's like they're holding them tighter and tighter and tighter and you actually watch and blood starts dripping down their noses. And you're kind of spurred on by this action, and you've just gotten louder and louder and louder, just doing that part over and over and over again.
That's just silly. That's just a bit. That's just a boundary. Don't take it personally. That's just a boundary. That's just a boundary.
And it's as you do that last one again, it's almost like something gave up in them because all three of them slump over.
If only the boundary song had loosened my chains. Okay. So, they're knocked out, internal voice.
Seems to be.
So, I need the sword to cut me again. This is like to cut my ropes off again, right? Rover, Red Rover, I call the sword back over.
You see that it's kind of like pinned against the wall. You can hear it like clattering against the guy that was like sitting next to it.
Okay. Is the battle axe available?
It's still by the door.
Okay. Battle axey, fly towards my hand gently. It didn't run.
Not a bit, but the feeling was obviously felt by the universe.
Obviously, the universe understands my effort, but lack of rhyming ability.
Again, it's starting to do that shifty movie thing. It's a more heavy object than the sword that you had previously called.
Right, okay. What made it move the fastest? What was the Hun song, right? Is that what moved it better, or is it just me? Just me.
You have no proof any which way.
Right, that's true. Okay. Battle axe towards my hand, grip of might, I understand.
Pretty quickly, actually, comparatively to like how the sword moved, the axe kind of flies towards your general direction.
Does it stop before it?
You throw your.
Do I just go like?
Yeah. You throw your hands up as best you can, like. And as you threw your hands up, the blade, which was flying more or less towards your face, stops. And it's stopped about a hand's, like.
Made my nose take a little battle axey. Okay. To your right. Take it back now. One hop. Down.
The axe is doing some sort of weird wiggle motion now as it's turned and then started going in the direction it went before.
Where? Okay.
In the back of your head, you hear the voice of like, you're kind of like maybe a childhood friend that you haven't seen in like a super long time. Just being like, Allie, get it together.
Okay. Battle axe, I need you to move that way.
You're not sure, but based on what happened last time, you're hoping that it's turned itself. You can't see it in your current position.
Oh, is it behind me now?
You moved it to this side.
Oh, okay.
Again, your peripheral vision only does you so much good.
Okay. Come a little towards me and down.
There's maybe a shift in air that you can kind of feel.
Do the shuffle. Up and down, up and down, up and down.
You wait for a second and you're just kind of hoping and praying that this is working because you literally have nothing else you can do. And as you're just about to think that you've obviously lost your mind that none of this is happening and who the hell knows what's going on anymore, you start to feel that against the ropes.
Is my arm loose enough now?
You're starting to feel it come loose because the sword had already started the process.
Okay, do the shuffle a little bit more gently. Can I have my arm free now?
Yes.
Can I grab the battle axe?
Yep.
Come here, buddy. Thanks a lot. What's that arm? Okay. Cut the legs. Not the legs, the rope's on my legs. Okay. Better get going fast, because who knows what time Lord Shithead's coming. Okay. Quickly go grab my pack. And then, what is it? I want to see. I'm trying to think of something that I can, like, sing that will, like, group them together and, like, use the rope to tie them around. And for whatever reason, I want to sing the merry-go-round. I need something better than the child, like, why is childhood this going into my head?
I will maybe caution you that you're not really sure how or why you've done been able to do these things, as you've never had this ability before.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling very tired though
Okay.
after
Like
having done
draining
that.
me.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna probably do something dumb, but I quickly want to search the pockets of little Prince Shithead. Because I want to see if there's any note or indication of why his father wants me, or like what their actual plan was.
Okay.
And if I pick up some pretty jewels too, I don't know. I'm just like, I want to find some information about why I'm here.
They're not crazy asleep, so give me a sleight of hand roll.
Oh, fuck. 13? Do I put anything with that?
There's a sleight of hand stat. It's down towards the bottom.
Plus 4. So 17. No, plus 5. So 18.
Okay, yeah. You are able to just very quickly do little picks over his various clothing things to find various pockets. And you do find a couple of letters that are obviously from his father, as they've got like a stationary emblem on them that basically says it's from his desk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those old stationary kits from the desk of. And it essentially alludes to the fact that he did not appreciate the fact that you spurned him. And that's why he thrown you in the prison in the first place, was to teach you a lesson. And then you escaped, so then he was just super mad about it. And I'm super paraphrasing this, but basically it came down to he didn't appreciate the disrespect you'd shown his authority. And he made a bargain as you're reading through these notes, like as quick as you can. There's been a bargain made between him and his son that this is like the last thing that his son has to do before he's gonna essentially cut ties.
Oh, with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so now I see why Princess Shithead wanted to do this.
Yep. He's basically given him the freedom to go pursue whatever the hell he wants to do. He gave him about 300 gold to get him started on whatever he wanted. All he had to do was track you down and keep you in one place long enough for him to get away from the city without being noticed.
He got 300 gold.
He's an ambassador. He's in the higher bracket.
Right, but does he have the said son have the 300 gold on him?
Yes.
I'm taking that fucking 300 gold.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Yes, you've taken it.
Pissing them off even more, I'm sure, but
you've got the 300 gold.
They're already coming after me. It's not like I'm gonna make them less mad.
You've also found your harmonica in one of his inside pockets.
That bitch took my harmonica. Can I punch him before I leave the room?
You might wake him, but sure, you can certainly try. You could also theoretically give him brain damage. Who knows? You don't really understand the effects of what's been happening.
What I did that they're bleeding from their noses and passed out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's not fuck his face up. And we will take my harmonica, his 300 gold bribe, his little notes from his daddy, so I have proof that I was kidnapped and it was the ambassador, so I can show it to the queen. And I'm skedaddling waggling out of here.
Okay. You manage to get out the door, and you wait a second outside, and there's no sound of movement. As far as you can tell, they're not following you.
Okay, great. Is there any sound of movement in the woods that I'm going into? Like that the dad might be approaching or somebody else might be approaching?
No, I mean, nothing that you wouldn't hear in a forest anyway. Like, you definitely hear rustling, but then, like, a second later, you see, like, a squirrel or a rabbit or whatever.
Okay.
Uh,
Nothing like horse hooves or anything that way that I
no.
should know which direction to not go.
Mm-mm. Although, the path from the door is very obviously well used, because, like, the areas on the side are, like, grassy and have um, more of the things you'd find in, like, a forest, like mushrooms and stuff, are kind of around the path and such. But the path itself is super well worn, and, like, you can see the grooves from where, like, wagons have gone down it, and various horses, because you can see the imprint of, like, horseshoes.
Okay. I would like to follow the path, but not on it, like towards either the left or right side, trying to like stay low. But I still want to follow the path, but like try and hide myself. I don't.
A stealth check.
I was like, I don't want to be whatever, but that's a 6. Plus a 5 is
11.
11.
Okay, so it's starting to move towards the evening.
Okay.
You know, you've been tied to a chair and had that whole conversation and did the things, and that was like mid-afternoonish. So the sun's definitely gone down more, and especially with the tree cover that you have in this area, it's a lot dimmer than maybe it would be if you were just like in an open town. So it does seem to be hiding you pretty well. It helps that like the outfit that you're wearing is, more suited for adventuring, so it's a darker color.
Right.
And able to blend better. If it was broad daylight and like the whole forest was lit up, you wouldn't be able to get along well.
Right.
Yeah,
See me.
but you managed to get pretty far down the road before you ever see any signs of life aside from like other animals.
Okay.
And the first thing that you hear is obviously the sound of a wagon.
Okay. Is there anywhere nearby, like brush or any like bushes or any a tree that I can like hide behind when I hear this?
There are tons of things. If you like took like an extra 2 steps in, you'd be like through a bunch of shrubbery.
Okay, great. I'm gonna take that steps into the shrubbery and hopefully wait for the wagon to pass by / try and look out to see not too far out. If only I had a scope.
Yeah.
Try and see who's on this wagon and going by.
Yeah. So, yeah, you step back just far enough, and obviously a wagon's not a super, quiet vehicle anyway. As it rolls past you, you hear it, and you hear like the men who are stationed on it, like talking and stuff, and you don't know who's in the carriage, of course, but it goes flying down the road past you.
Okay, great. So can I just continue on in the shrubs, going the opposite way of the direction the carriage went?
Yes.
Great, that's what I want to do then.
Okay. Are you trying to do this still in like the shadows, or are you just gonna like hoof it, like try and run for as long as you can, or jog, or
I'm gonna give it like 5-10 minutes still in the shadows of like walking, kind of to like make sure that they still keep going that way and I get past, and then I'm probably gonna speed ramp myself forward because as soon as I get to the thing and see those three doing whatever they're doing now, and I'm gone, they're probably gonna be pissed and start searching the woods.
that's very likely.
So,
Okay. So you give me another stealth roll.
okay, that's a 16.
Okay. Yes. Those like 10 minutes that you spend continuing to stealth along go really well. Again, just the sounds of the forest around you. You don't hear any more from that wagon that went by. Um, you come kind of like to the top of the hill, and you're able to see that this road, because it had kind of had that split at the end where you made the choice to kind of wait for the wagon to pass by. Um, turns out that now that you come to the top of this hill, that you can see that there's like a town semi close by. It kind of reminds you of Suwat, but it's not quite the same.
Okay.
It's obviously not set up the same. You can tell because of the arrangement the Suwat had in the buildings, and this one doesn't even vaguely meet that.
Okay. Let's head towards the village and see if I can get directions to Suwat or to the city, which I can't remember its name right now. Kazaya.
Okay. Give me give me an acrobatics check.
An acrobatics check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this hill was not like the easiest thing you ever climbed. And the way down to this village you can see is a bit of a drop off, kind of steep.
9 plus 6, so 15.
Okay. You managed to like kind of half slide, half run
So like going down
down this hill. You mostly slide on your butt for all as much of it as you can.
Good thing I got some cushion back there.
She says to herself. Or the internal voices, whatever.
Okay, I don't know. Sometimes I say to both.
Makes it to the bottom of the hill, and the ground finally evens out. It looks like anytime someone has maybe had to use this road, it wasn't necessarily recent, because it is so steep. It likely is a road that's like not traveled very often. As you're when you were at the top of the hill, you could kind of see other roads that were leading to the town that now that you're getting a real clear picture of this road were probably better traveled and more likely it was a case of this was too damn steep, and especially like anytime the roads became more hazardous weather wise,
Right.
they just said screw it, and the town opened up the other roads. So you made that connection for yourself as you're navigate down it.
Beautiful, well done.
When you get to the bottom of the hill, you just kind of stop and just sit there for a minute.
Yeah, because I'm bruised. I just slid down a hill. I'm also drained because I did weird shit. Today is not turning out great.
I mean, you caused a lot of damage even for just sitting there talking to people.
My little tongue. I'm delirious. I should not be strapped to a chair for hours on end.
Do you want to rest more or do you want to get up?
Um, so I have some of those healing crystals. If I hold them, will that like help me get some of my strength back, my stamina back? Or will it just like help heal like the rubbing of the
It will definitely help you. It will take a while, so you'd have to like hold them while you're walking.
Okay.
And you'd have to like shake out a few crystals to actually physically hold.
Right.
Because like through the vial they
Yeah.
do as
Doesn't do
much.
anything.
As you know from the priests doing their bad things. Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So I want to shake a few out and hold in my hand. I don't have anything else. I'm like, if only I had that leather that I could strap this crystal to my arm like those guys did. The other thing.
Yeah, because that's exactly what you want to do. Strap a weird, like, amnesia-inducing roofie shit to your arm.
I
Again,
don't want that. I want the healing crystal strapped to my arm.
still sounds like you're trying to do bad things to yourself.
Okay, I'll just hold the crystals in my hand and walk towards the thing, hoping that while I walk and flesh, hopefully find out where the heck I am. I get a little bit more something because I don't think it's a really good option to just sit still.
Okay. Give me just a roll of the d20 real quick.
A 9.
Okay. So you get to your feet and you are so damn tired. Trudging forward is like a force of will at this point. But you do. You're putting one foot in front of the other. It's not easy. You are so damn tired. You literally just want to fall over right now. And it's just starting to hit like that twilighty darkness by the time you actually reach the town, which looked a hell of a lot closer when you were at the top of the hill.
Of course it did.
And the whole way, kind of still to yourself, you're still having this conversation with this imaginary person.
Of course. Like, why couldn't it be easy after I got down the steep hill and hurt myself? You know? But you would think it'd be a lot faster to the town. No, of course not.
It's not going to do you any good to whine about it. So,
Is that my internal monologue?
mhm.
That bitch. What am I supposed to be like? Off to work we go. Hi ho, hi ho.
Resorting to little dwarf songs. Have we spent too much time in this world? Have we?
Apparently, I don't like my brain is scrambled. I don't know what else to be like except Cupid Shovel, and I don't even know that song well enough off my head to be like, yeah,
This time, where it's felt very internal monologue, the like surprised, almost chuckle that you hear at the end of that.
seems very much like someone's talking to me.
Yes.
Why? Who are
No one that's going to cause you harm.
you? You're someone other than my weird internal monologue.
I mean, it depends, I guess, on what you mean by an internal monologue. Because sometimes we talk to ourselves to find an answer within, and other times we reach out to the universe asking for assistance. And sometimes,
Are you the universe? Are you? Fuck, what is the god's name? Method?
Mythin,
Mythin?
not Mythin, but definitely in the realms.
So you like a bro of Mythin?
I'm not. Hmm. In your world, I know that they don't really. They're starting to not do the whole gendering thing.
Oh, sorry. Did I misgender you? I'm so sorry. Are you a they? Not a he or a she?
Think more female, darling.
You're she, okay. You're them.
Yeah.
Great. Also, you know my world? Like, you know I'm not from this D dungeons. I can't say that. This, like, ye old time. It's
You were
like,
thinking of a Dungeons and Dragons game. I could hear it.
it's a little rude to say about someone's, like, a world.
I mean, it looks like a fun game. If I was in the mode to want to play, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood to ready to play right now. Can we, like, get me out? I just want a nice soft bed and, like, to read a book. Not in some weird language that I didn't know until I showed up here.
I'm sorry for the hardships you've gone through. There is a purpose.
And that is.
We, as you know, believe in fate. And after all, we have three of our deities that are specific to the fate that has happened, the fate that is happening, and the fate that will happen.
Yeah. Oh, you guys love your fatesies.
It's important, but it is ever changing, as you know.
Right, and my fate just took a terrible turn back in ye old one bedroom apartment.
You handled it well enough, especially since you're acclimating.
Yeah, what? Can you explain what the heck I did back there to the three Goldilocks? No, that's not the Three Stooges.
Honestly, you could have gone either way. Truthfully, it fits in either direction. The more time someone like you spends here, the more you acclimate to the rules of this world. And here, magic is prevalent. So it's starting to infuse itself to you.
Great. So I just have magic abilities that are getting stronger the longer I stay here?
Essentially, yes. You've experienced. Tell me if this sounds familiar.
God.
You've unleashed a string of insults in battle,
Yeah.
and you watch it physically almost seem to affect someone.
Yeah, I did call a dust bunny a bitch.
And a dust bunny, they have actual names, just so you know.
I don't remember.
They were methods, as I recall. And just now, in that other space, you started singing a song in such a way that caused physical damage.
You mean I did repeat over and over again, which is like what happens in my head, but I made it very loud in others?
Even still. And you managed to physically move objects.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Would you like a list of the magic that you've been granted?
I'd love to know what magic I've been granted since I came to this world.
These are just the start. I highly believe that your abilities will grow as you do in this realm. I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you, to steal a phrase from your world. You're here for the purpose that we need you to be here for.
And I can't go home till that purpose is fulfilled.
You need to complete this in order for this world to survive. And for that to happen, we need your assistance.
You literally just put the weight of this world on my. You know we have myths about that in my world, right? It's not great. And you just keep going. We just love this for me.
You feel like someone, like a very large hand almost, is just like out of the ether, just kind of doing it. It's okay. Just kind of patting you on the head very lightly.
I'm not a cat, but thanks. It was appreciated.
It's not all on you. You have
What, my turtle club?
made friends.
God, the turtle club has to save the world. We're definitely not turtly enough for this club.
I think you all have things that are bringing you on the path, on a journey, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
If you can truly utilize each other's strengths and help each other to maybe come to a different point in each of your stories,
Mm-hmm.
you'll find yourselves in just the right place at just the right time to make it worth it.
Love that for us.
I'm not going to be easily contactable all the time.
So when I do talk to myself, it won't always be you.
Right. I've only been with you for the last 24 hours ish, actively.
Great. Okay. So like the conversation I had with myself last week was just me. Good to know. Should I try and be contacting you, or are you just gonna show up when you think it's useful?
A bit of both. You can do a bit of both. I won't be at your beck and call. Obviously, I'm not a collie, but
Are you cute like a dog though?
I think I'm fucking adorable.
Love it. Get it, sis. Um, do you have a name that I can like at least address in my head?
I've been called many things in many different places. In most recent years, I've been more vibing. Is that a word in your world?
Sure is.
Okay. Been more vibing on the lines of Bronwyn.
Bronwyn.
Mm.
I'm gonna spell that for the dumb person over here.
Bronwyn.
My brain is like feeling brown. I was like, that's not what she said. Bronwyn.
Mhm.
So when I address you as bro, it's just like a nickname, but like rudely misgendering you. Good to know.
It was an interesting coincidence.
Okay.
I don't have much longer with you. Do you need or have any other particular questions at the moment?
Can you direct me in how to get back to my turtle club?
Stop in this town for the night and you'll be fine to stay for the evening. No one here would ever turn you into the ambassador or any of his lackeys.
Thank God for that.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Now, that being said, when you leave at first light, and that's very important, you'll want to head southwest from your current position. Eventually, you'll run into that little bit of road that you initially set out on when you went to go save that little town.
Swin. I don't even remember.
So on.
Swat.
You're not the first who's been brought here for a particular reason. And I know it feels like this is quite the wait for you.
But other people have done it, so I shouldn't be too sassy to the gods.
It wasn't entirely our decision to bring you specifically here.
Oh, so you didn't choose this sassy in mouth. Okay, good to know. That does make more sense.
Even the deities have, I guess you could say, their own deities that they pray to for guidance and assistance. This world needed help, so the stress call was sent, and
And
you're in the right place.
fell into a tree.
In your world, they're called natural vortexes.
It's a weird Renaissance festival, that's all I'm saying.
But was helpful when you dropped into a world that primarily has similar attire.
Yeah, if only I had coin to help with that originally.
No, you were taken in by a kindly man and his wife initially. That was a stroke of luck to a degree, I would think.
Okay, quick question, oh Gotti friend.
Mm-hmm.
Does time work the same here as it does in home? Like, have I been here for months on end, like I think I have? Or have I been gone from whatever realm you call my world for minutes, years, hours?
The rules that govern each world work similarly, but are not the same. What has been for you, what, almost a year, would probably be more or less like about a month in your world,
So I've been missing for a month.
at least. And that's kind of iffy. As I said, it's not exact. The rules don't work the same, and I don't live there primarily. Just pop in every now and again to get some little cute colloquialisms and then pop back out again.
Okay. Hecate. I don't know, it's a goddess name I know from Armira. um, okay, good to know. I've been here theoretically a month.
Thereabouts.
I think that's all I can think of in this crazy jumbled brain right now. I'm sure you are seeing weird flashes of whatever's passing by my face, by my eyes, the brain, whatever you want to call it. But I think
It's an interesting movie, for sure. I did enjoy that one. That was a good one.
Everyone enjoys that one.
I have noticed. It has quite the little
fan following.
Yes, I was thinking another word though.
Cult following.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
That's such an interesting term.
Yeah, you got a few of them here.
Only one that's causing more problems than it should.
Let me guess, the ambassador is part of that.
No, he's just a shithead.
He is a shithead!
I know. No, I was totally in agreement with you the whole time. And your little nicknames that you gave to the other ones, oh my lord, I was just rolling. That being said, he likely, since you were smart, little cookie, I saw what you did there with the letters. And it helps that one of your little turtle club buddies
is cousin to the queen.
and very well trusted.
Yes.
Although he'll probably need some assistance soon.
So I should, go sleep and leave?
I would, for certain. I also, as a, let's say, tip, suggest that you take time to really get to know each of them individually, find out what their motivations. As I said, your paths are at just the right point where you can either make a big difference and the world will be all the better for it, or it could go the opposite direction. And if that's the case, I suppose that's the case.
But you'd really like this world to continue to exist.
I prefer this one to most of the others, yes.
When I'm done, do I get a choice to stay or do I have to go back if I decide I, like you, prefer this one more than the other?
That's a question. That's a quandary.
I don't know that I want to, but sometimes it might just be simpler not to see people in the other world.
I can understand that, especially with the situation you left behind.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, until I fell into this world, falling through the tree was like a great relief. Just the other end was very shocking.
I can imagine an entirely different culture. At least you had a little leg up in the fact that you can understand the words that are spoken to you.
Yeah, that is a nice little perk.
Sorry, I realize you're tired.
It's fine. I want to get as much information as from you before you float away. I don't know.
Not a
Skedaddle,
ghost.
yeah. Yeah, but like honestly, that's what I'm kind of picturing, which I'm sure you've noticed.
Think of it more like either a visit or a phone call. You're hearing my voice, but I'm not necessarily in the same place you are.
Oh, so you just telepathically putting some shit in my mind. Okay. Kind of like
It's difficult for the what you call deities to be on the same plane of existence as mortals. Our immediate presence on the same plane can cause
issues.
effects.
Mm.
Your little group ran into some of that. Feel free to ask them.
Okay, deity on Earth. I mean, on the Earth. I don't know what planet this is.
Passis. Well, you're on the continent of Passis.
I know that's so wrong.
The world is actually called. Well, it has a few different names.
It always has a few different names.
Well, okay, so here's the thing about deities. We don't all agree. All
I can't imagine.
So most of us, and what primarily the mortals use on this plane, is Soren for the name of the world.
Sorry. Sorry, got it. World.
Is that a movie?
It is, don't watch it.
Okay. I suppose I'll take your word for it. Although, he's kind of cute.
Yeah, but he's like a baby then. He's cuter now.
Oh, he is. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for the mental images. That really helps.
You're welcome. You got a whole lifetime of knowledge.
Oh, that's a good one too. I have seen that one too.
It's my favorite.
I will give you two things more, and
Okay.
then I really can't keep this
Say.
up much longer. Firstly, I want you to hold out your hand, and I want you to picture just the prettiest gem or stone that you can imagine in your mind. Describe it for me.
I see a obelisk of green and turquoise, kind of like an emerald. No, let's do this. A green and like opal, so it's like turquoise, not turquoise. It's like emerald and opalite mixed together. We're gonna mix some yellow into my. We're gonna mix emerald, opalite, and citrine.
Okay.
Weird swirling bits in a obelisk shape because that's what we like.
Okay. As you're standing there with your palm open, you start to feel a weight almost gathering in your hand. And when you open your eyes, you see an obelisk that's got the swirled, like, um, citrine, the kind of more goldish yellow, and the emerald green going up. But there's like a sheen to it that you would guess comes from like the opal.
Cool. It's pretty.
Think of it as your cell, I suppose.
Myself.
You hold that, you say my name, and if I'm not busy, if I'm not needed elsewhere, I'll make an effort to listen for you.
Cool. I don't have to hold it up to my head, right?
No.
Great.
Good question, but
you
no.
did say so, so I'm like, ring, ring, motherfucker.
I just couldn't think of anything else from your world that was being equivalent. And last thing, let's see, what other gift could you get from the goddess that would be helpful?
My cell in my bag.
You got a real gift for gab.
Mouth never stops talking.
Which I appreciate, even if others don't.
Great. I'll know you will always be entertained.
I think what you really need, since it seems to be an area you feel you're lacking, let's give you a little boost to your luck.
Boost to my luck.
Mm-hmm. If you are in a situation that you feel like you need a little extra oomph, hold on to that piece I just gave you, and maybe things will swing your way a little more easily. Don't overuse it. But I don't see why I can't help give you some nudges in the right direction when you need it.
Cool.
People underestimate luck, but you need it for most things.
That is a true statement. I got a cell. That's lucky. That's an interesting combination.
As I said, I'm not great with all of the things, and trying to come up with equivalencies for someone that's not technically from the world you're in.
Right. I get you. You're trying your best. I'm just a sassy.
Not all of us will be your friends.
Gods.
Yes.
Good to know.
As I said, we don't all get along.
Right. I'm guessing some of them are actually rooting for the cult.
Just a bit.
Good knowledge.
Not, thankfully for you, it's not many of us.
Excellent. That does work in our favor.
Unfortunately, they are maybe slightly older and stronger than some of us.
That's not great.
We've been around a long time. So,
yeah. That does tend to seem to be the lore around gods till I came here and they seem to be real.
they're all a little real. We're oh, what else? We're lucky here. Many of us are prayed to on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
The power that we gain from that praise gives, again, as I gave to you, a little boost.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
At least for those of us that were born this way.
And others maybe had Maybelline.
I got that reference too. You're very quick. I like you so much because of these things.
I think my quickness is slowing down.
Yes, but the gates are fast approaching. I wish you the best. And you'll have more luck on your side than you think you do. Just keep that in mind, even when it seems harder.
Okay. Good to know.
Lean on your friends.
Lean on me.
Also a good movie. You're just knocking them right out.
Okay, I think I'm gonna knock myself right out into bed.
As she chuckles that last time at your little half joke, you hear it kind of fade. Kind of creepy dance. That's it.
That's a good laughing though. I'm delirious. God was just talking to me, and I have a crystal cell phone. Okay. Let's go to the village and find a place to sleep.
You were able to get into the village with like no issues. There was a guard posted out front, but he basically took one look at you and was just like, "Ooh, you need to get in."
Go ahead, honey bunches.
It was like everyone in this town that you've met in this moment of you've like had these crazy experiences within the last 3 days ish.
Yeah.
As far as you know, assuming that Mr. Princeling was right, as you
Princess Shithead.
yes, Princess Shithead was correct. You know, comparatively, everybody here is like being super nice. Kind of reminds you of like that couple you first met when you got here. Just like willing to give you the clothes off their back so long as you have a little bit better of a day, sort of thing. That's what you get from the feeling of the town.
Excellent.
You find out that the place that you're in now is a smallish town called Roxtorre.
Rock story.
Roxtorre.
Torre.
And the inn there is called the Gartered Sheep. And the innkeeper who works in that place is called Matt. And he is a gnome. Kind of reminds you of Nom Nom, but doesn't have quite the more barbarian-esque features that you kind of associate with your little friend.
How do you spell gnome?
Gnome.
Like my brain wrote nom. Okay.
He charged you 2 gold for the night because he had to clear out basically someone that he was going to let flop there for the night because they were kind of a little too tipsy. Knock them basically back into the main dining room to sleep it off so you could have the actual room.
Okay.
And you are able to, it's almost like you just like are able to take off like your first outer layer of clothing and you're just like basically out by the time your head hits the bed.
If only that happened in real life.
I know, right? Would love. And that's basically what's happened to you while you've been gone. I'm going to assume you tell me, are you going to take the goddess's advice and go out at first light?
Fuck yeah, I am. When voices talk to you in your head, you take their advice.
normally, unless it's to harm yourself, but this is to harm me. So yes, leave it first light, leave southwest from current position. I'd like to give the town I'd like to leave this guy instead of 2 gold, 20 gold. Since I stole 30 from whatever, be like as a tip for your help.
Yeah, you could totally do that, and I'm sure he'd love that. Just leave it like on the bar or before you leave. You can. Should be some little like weird sets.
I just really wanted to do that too. I don't do that. That's just, that's my that's my what is it? Intrusive thoughts getting to me during the middle of D&D. Okay, I'm sipping nicely. What the heck is Cassie's birthstone?
She's November, so it would be.
Yeah.
I used to know all of them. Citrine? That sounds right. Topaz.
Topaz.
Mm-hmm. And citrine was right.
And citrine. What is the color of citrine?
I believe it's that bright, shining, said to be a gift from the sun. That birthstone.
Okay, so topaz is blue and citrine is yellow. Okay. I love that. It out or whatever that is.
Yeah, you got it. You got it, dude.